Hey, you guys, it's Denise Walsh here, and I love coming to you every single Monday night to talk about dream life coaching and how you can get unstuck today and literally catapult into like a whole nother level, like a bust through your limiting beliefs and truly shift within 3 months. Like so much can happen in 3 months if you let it. And so today I am going to introduce and share a client who is a part of the certification process. In fact, she is going to be a support coach in the next round of 90 Day U-Turn. And we are going to talk about how and why 90 Day U-Turn can be the launch pad for you in getting to where you want to go next. And there's a few specific exercises we are going to talk about. So be sure to stay till the end so you can hear a bit more about that. So without further ado, I'd love to welcome Vonnie Van Land to the stage. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to share a bit more of your story because in reality, you're just getting started. Like you've gone through 90 Day U-Turn one time, you're about to become a support coach and get certified. And then you're going to launch your own business and support people who are potentially where you were when you started. So let's talk a little bit about where you were when you got started and why you said yes to 90 Day U-Turn.
Well, let's see. First of all, I know about 2 years ago, you and I connected, and I was not ready. I didn't know that I wasn't ready, but I kept kind of thinking, this is what I want to do. I want to find a way to kind of not live in the past, but use my past to help others. And so it took a little bit of gentle prodding to join the 90 day. And I am so glad that I did, because once I started moving on it, it really just clarified my vision. It energized me, and it kind of gave me the ability to just take off. And now I feel like there's no end in sight. So there's a lot of growth going.
So what would you say life was like before? Because you were working, you had been in counseling before, you had, what was going on that made you say, all right, I need something to be different?
Sure. I had been in counseling for about 7 years. Life had gone through a lot of twists and turns that I had not anticipated, which usually that's what trauma is, right? Something you didn't anticipate. And I was doing a lot of work with healing, and I needed to do that before I could look forward. And then a couple of years ago, I got married, and my husband was the first one that encouraged me to dream. And that's what kind of brought me to the point of, okay, I don't have to stay stuck in the just stepping, just living, just moving through things. And it gave me the ability to think, okay, I think that I have value and I have something to give. And no one had encouraged that really for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Young child, it had been. My parents were great with that, and my childhood was great, but events throughout my adulthood caused me to stop thinking that way. And so, I was working. I had 4 kids. I was a single mom for a while. We went through some trauma as a family, and it just kind of got me stuck and got me feeling like, I don't even know. I just want to wake up and live every day and hopefully make it to the end of the day.
Yeah. I think there was a season where it was survival,
Yeah,
right?
good word for it.
Where you had gone, like life had hit hard. You were like, all right, one foot in front of the other. Let's just get through this. And you sought support and you sought help. And after a while, it got to a place where you were like, okay, I'm surviving now. Like we got that part. Now it's time to thrive. Now it's time to redream and rekindle some of this stuff that had been percolating, because I know you had thought about becoming a coach for a while. Like it wasn't a new dream. It was a percolating dream, and you finally decided to take action.
It was one of those things that years ago I had thought of how I was a youth director. I used the talents, the God-given talents in a lot of ways, I played piano in church. I, loved being a stay-at-home mom. And there were a lot of qualities that got pushed down in me that I didn't quite know how to find again. So that survival mode sometimes was moment to moment, sometimes day to day. And as it got to be a little more, okay, you're not just surviving, you can think a little further and add a little more to your plate. It gave me that ability, but I needed a platform. I needed a way to, how do I write a book? How do I help other people? I don't want to go back to school to be a counselor. And to be honest, I didn't want to live in the past. I really wanted to help people springboard instead of wallowing through the mess.
Yeah.
Long enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hear people like they'll say this to me all the time. Like, I know what I want, but I don't have the roadmap. Just tell me what to do and I could do it. Right. And so you're at that place where you're like, all right, I've done the healing work. I'm ready for my next step, but I don't even really know what that is. Right. And so when you found Dream Life Coaching, it was a 1, 2, 3, here you go. And so the first piece of it is you get to experience the content yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's a really important piece, because when you're going to be coaching and you want to help other people, we don't want to just give them book knowledge, right? We want to actually be confident in what exercises we're taking them through or et cetera. And so what was your first like impression or experience of your first round of 90 Day U-Turn?
Well, to be really honest, like the first night that we were supposed to meet, I kind of was like, I'm just, that fear thing came back up, that you're not good enough, the anxiety, all the things, you're not going to be able to do this. And I was like, okay, first night, we're going to give it one night, one step. We're going to try it. I don't know these people. I don't do meetings. I don't. And that first night I left just really empowered with, these people are all safe. They're all places that, and I didn't have to go into my story. That was another part for me. It was just, okay, we're all here. We want to jump off. We want to figure out where to go. And we're all kind of a confused mess. And in a loving way, we all kind of were like, hey, I got you. I understand you. I feel what you've got going on, and let's do this together. So the first night really solidified to me that this was where I needed to be. And you kept saying, it gets better, it gets better, it gets better. And not that it wasn't good, but each week left me really drawing on more and wanting that next week to come sooner. And I will say, for me, one of the main pivot points was when we went through having to ask other people what they saw in us. And that wrecked me in a really good way. Things that I had no idea people saw in me. And it was said by more than one person. And I don't want to cry, but it brought me to tears that there was still a real, true, solid part of me that I could pull from. And I didn't have to recreate myself. I could just be who I was and grow from that. And that just gave me the ability to turn and burn, basically.
Yeah. And you did. It was like something unlocked and you were off.
Yeah.
And so for those that don't know, 90 Day U-Turn is my overcoming self-sabotage program, where I say it's a loving kick in the right direction. And so each week you get about an hour of content to go do at your own time and a workbook to do on your own time. And then we come together once a week to talk about it. And what's really special is that this is not a trauma group. We're not here to rehash the past. It's a what's next group. And as we grow dreams that make us super excited about where we're going, we are also learning new coping skills to help retrain our nervous system and get out of fight or flight mode. We're shifting our automatic thinking. We are doing new healthy habits. Like, there's a lot of things that we are new actions we're taking alongside the mindset shifts that allow us to go in a new direction. And we don't have to do a whole 180 to go in a new direction. We can just go in like 3%. And all of a sudden you're in a new direction. And so week after week, Vani, I saw the onion layers start to shed, and you could see and feel your confidence grow. You could see and feel your creativity come back, like your spark come back. Mm-hmm. And within 3 months, you like started writing books. I mean, you have 3 in the works, 1 almost on Amazon. Tell us a bit about what got unleashed during the last 3 months.
I feel like when I kind of allowed myself to open up, I gave myself that, okay, now you took that deep breath, let's go. I am self-motivated. I'm a type A, and it just kind of went. So the first thing I worked on was something that had been percolating for a really long time, and it's actually a journal book, based on, it's a way to journal differently based on music and song
Mhm.
and affirmation. And it came together literally in a week, and I am so excited, because yeah, it's about ready to come out. I'm just holding on to it for just a couple little things, but that was big. And then as I started going through that, other ideas of, hey, you can talk about mom guilt, you can talk about narcissism, you can talk about um, judgment of other people, and how to deal with that, and not in a clinical way, but in a personal way. And also, a lot of the tools that I had learned in my years of counseling are reiterated here, but in a
Mhm.
way that it's not looking backward. And that just gave me the ability to not sit in the yuck, which I had to do. And it was necessary, but it gave me the ability to go, okay, here's where we take that yuck and we move forward.
Yeah.
And once I started doing that, it just rolled.
Yeah. You
So
like got in flow. It
it,
was it was really fun to see.
it just kind of, that's a good way to put it. I was in flow
Yeah, you totally were.
in that. So it feels like every morning I wake up really excited to face the day. And that was not the way for a long time. And
Yeah.
I love, the excitement and finding joy in the little things
Yeah.
now. Well, and it doesn't always have to be a big, oh, this is going to encapsulate my journey. It's, oh my goodness, look at that sunset.
Yeah.
Or we have cattle, and just watching the babies with their mamas, and just there's finding joy in the little things has been a big part of this program that no counseling could have helped me do. So,
That's amazing.
yeah.
And so you have mentioned when we were texting before this that there was a lesson that you really I don't know if the words gravitated towards or got an aha moment from. Tell us a little bit about the panic point exercise that we did and why it was special to you.
Okay. So I was never a panicky person. I was the first one to jump off the bridge, basically. Really had no fear. I'm a firstborn child. Um, didn't really have fear. And due to life situations, I ended up with pretty severe anxiety, PTSD, a, a lot of things that caused me to stop in my tracks and not know
Mhm.
how to deal with the panic moments. Triggers, a lot of things. Again, technical terms for basically being a hot mess. But it,
Life had happened and your body knew it.
and so this one that we went through, it basically said, yeah, you may have panic moments, but how do you deal with them, and how do you prepare ahead of time,
Mhm.
not get in that all-encompassing panic, right? So it took me through it. What are some things that bring you through panic? And then what are some things you can actually do to not get to that panic mode? And that was eye-opening for me, that how little those things had to be. Just really things that I love to do anyhow. Watch a sunset, take a nap, watch a movie, take a walk. Things that weren't like, oh, you need to go to the spa and spend $150 on a massage. No, these are everyday things
Yeah.
that brought me joy that I could build in and do before I got into crisis mode.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. And so we talk a lot about chronic stress and how when we're living in fight or flight mode, we're in chronic stress and it's like a volcano, right? About to explode. And then it doesn't take much. It could be traffic or it could be, the grilled cheese burned or something, right? And we're like, ah. But so many of us are living at this 8, 9, 10, like about to blow type of an experience. And so we talk about two things, right? Coming back down from that tense panic and keeping ourselves at a 3, 4, 5 instead of an 8, 9, 10 most of the time. So when life does happen, when we are stuck in traffic, when the grilled cheese does burn, when whatever life is happening, we are at a state where we can handle it much more. And so identifying those things and then saying, when am I doing them? Isn't that interesting? Because when we are in panic, we're not going to think, oh, I should read a book right now. Oh, I should take a bath. Oh, I should call my friend. Like, we need to do those things on a consistent basis. So when we're in panic, we remember to do them.
Yeah. And I had a lot of tools given to me by counselors that were great, but they were all for when it happened. And this laid the groundwork for me to be in a better place before it happened.
Right.
Not necessarily going to stop every event from triggering me. And I had to face that too. Like, my original goal was, okay, I want to stop being triggered. Nope. Doesn't always happen. So this faced the reality of some things, like a burned grilled cheese, are going to make me go off, and hopefully less and less. And hopefully with the, the mechanisms that we're taught here, to be able to do it less and with less combustion.
Yeah. You're exactly right. It's like, it's not that life's going to be smooth sailing forever and we have no triggers for the rest of our life. It's like, but when we do get triggered, it will be less intense and it will last. It will be a shorter duration, because we all know times where we've been a hot mess for days, monkey mind, spiraling, not sleeping, all of those things. And so if we can shorten the duration of that crisis moment and help us use the skills to get through it much faster, like, that's a game changer. And I often say, like, how does 90-day U-turn? It helps you with everything. It's hard to describe how it helps, because it literally helps with everything. When you are an emotionally secure, stable, and positive person, it helps with everything.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I was amazed coming in, like, kind of knowing, but not really knowing, and having a projected end of what I thought was going to happen at the end, how different and full the end was. It wasn't just, here you go, you passed this and now you get to move on. It was, here you go, this is so much bigger, and it's ballooned into so many ways that I can use this. It was incredible.
So what are some of the things that your people in your family noticed over the course of 3 months? Or what is life like now? What are some of the tangible things that you've noticed have changed in your life?
Well, I combust less quickly. That is relating to this. I used to get told, well, you could be two different people. Like, you're this, and 30 seconds later, you're this person. And it's because I held all that.
Yeah.
And then by the time it came to healing, or having to deal with it, I was already way blown beyond the part where that was going to help. So that was a big thing for me. Of course, like I said before, understanding how other people saw me, that was huge, because in my community, it was, and not the same way. And some of it is in your mind, right? And just giving me the courage and strength to face, like, you're okay. Like, you're good. You don't have to always look at the negative and always blame yourself. That blame game was big. Self-sabotage.
Yeah.
And putting a name to some of those things too. So the complete program in itself just validated and carried me through a whole section that I can't wait to share with other people. So
So this next round, you get to be a support coach and you get to see it support others just like it helped and supported you. So for those of you that are like, okay, I need a U-turn in 90 days, like I need to be resparked. I need to learn some of these skills. I want to build my confidence. I want to have I don't want to be triggered by what I call the lion, right? We turn your lion into a little fly. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
And so we are opening the doors for 90 Day U-Turn on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. But Bonnie will be a support coach. We've got 2 support coaches this round. That means you get to meet with them, your support coach, once a week. And that provides such a really like a super cool blessing onto the program where you have the community that supports you and the place to talk through the exercises, but you also have a support coach that you can really lean into to go through your personal experience with the exercises or focusing on your dream life goal. And so what are you excited about as you watch new people go through the program?
I'm excited to see the light bulb go off because I know mine was visible and I can't wait to see it happen with somebody else.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I know it's going to, I have no doubt. So it's just waiting for and how.
It's so fun. And then after you are certified, then Vani gets to launch her own and open the doors to her own program as well. So it's really fun to see the program that kind of flipped you, right? Switched, give you a new perspective. You get to now offer to clients and give them that same roadmap.
Yep. I'm super excited for that. It's the dream that I had that I didn't know what to put a name to. So
yeah. Yeah, it's so fun because it's like I want to, you came in and you're like, I want to do this, but I have no idea what it looks like or how to get there. And within 6 months, you'll be launching your own program.
Yeah,
it's so fun. 6 months of when you started, which is super fun. So if there's anybody listening that is on the fence, that is interested and curious about 90 Day U-Turn or becoming a coach themselves, what would you say?
I would say just give it a try. Fight back that fear or anxiety and give it a try because you are worth it. And it does work. There's just no words to explain the value of how much it works. If you're not going to write a book or you're not going to go into coaching or any of that, it's good for every individual. I think it'd be good for any person. So
yeah, absolutely. I recommend if you're curious about the coaching program, but you're not necessarily like you want to see if you like the content first, start with 90 Day U-Turn and you can always upgrade. At the end of the day, the worst thing that could happen is you have gained friends and skills that will help you for the rest of your life.
I started with the 90 day and it was on week 3 that I leveled up. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's been fun to see you bloom. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences and your story. And you guys stay tuned, friend her on social media and stay tuned because as soon as her book is live on Amazon, we will be shouting it from the rooftops. It's super fun to see. Like, I call it the glass ceiling because once it's gone, it's like, ooh, skyrocketing and it doesn't have to feel hard. It can feel fun.
Thank you so much.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. If you're interested in learning more about the coaching program, comment coach below and I'll reach out and I'd love to connect with you to see if it's a good fit for you as well. If you're interested in 90 Day U-Turn, 11 kick in the right direction, comment my turn below and let's talk about that too. Have a great, great night, my friends, and we'll see you next week.